therapist. She has interest in writing, sexual reproductive rights, previously worked with Matriarch Initiative. Eve has a prominent passion for mental health and, of course, is a friend to this hospital. And so kindly join me as we welcome our MC this afternoon, Eve Wandaka. Yeah. All right, now let's do it. Let's take it back again. Join me as we welcome our MC this afternoon, Eve Wandaka. Thank you, thank you.
Why do you want to make me blush in front of all these people?
You're a lady.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. As you've all heard, my name is Eve Wandaka, and I'm going to take this opportunity to introduce my co-host. So Benjamin Mutuku is a clinical psychologist based in Kijabe Hospital. He has interest in theology, music, and writing, which is befitting because we are here because of creative arts. Mm-hmm. And of course, the reason we are all here because he's a mental health champion. So ladies and gentlemen, Benjamin Mutuku.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Asante. I hope I'm doing what people do.
I hope so too.
Like bowing a bit. And yes. So arts. I mean, arts, creative arts particularly. I know we have musicians here, and I can tell that we have musicians because I saw some guy in dreadlocks. I mean, you can always tell people, no, don't say stereotypes. I'm just saying, yeah, just some of us. We have quite sufficient guests in this event, and so I'm sure it's going to be an exciting time for all of us. There is this, I don't know if you've watched the American Idols. How many of us have watched American Idols? You see people who come there with a lot of talent, and then there are others who also come. There are others who also come, and they come. And they are there, they pick that microphone, and, passion, right? They try to do that thing. They try to sing, and you're wondering, the biggest question that comes to my mind is, where are their friends? Where are their friends? Because, I mean, they should have just called them and told them, if, it's okay that if you don't have to sing, like you don't have to be a singer, right? But then you see someone there. I'm not talking about Asker Project Fame. I'm not even going to talk about some of these things. But then we have also people who are talented, and we have such kind of people here today. And so join me as we welcome Gathoni, who is our host. She's going to be kicking us off with the theme, where we are beginning, and we are going to continue in a very great time. So kindly, as we will not stand, but we will clap as we welcome Gathoni. A round of applause for Gathoni Mumbua.
Good afternoon, is that better? Wow, I'm very happy to be here today. Our chief guest of honor, Madam Kuresha Abdullahi. Our chief sponsors, Safaricom, led by Paris Mohoro. Our partners, Institute of Human Resource Management, Ashley's, led by the CEO, Terry Mungai, Miss World Kenya, led by Sharon Obara and Franklin Asioyo, who hold the current Mr. and Miss World Kenya title. Our other partner, Take 6 company, led by Pasha. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Not to forget to mention all our distinguished guests who honored our invitation today, the participants who have made this day be what it's going to be. My name is Gathoni Mumbua. I am a practicing clinical psychologist and the head of digital relations here at Chiromo Hospital Group. I am truly grateful to stand here today. Thankful to God for this opportunity. And it is indeed a great day because today we hold two concurrent events. One in Kisumu that the CEO, Dr. Vincent Hongo, will be talking about, and to see MindFest 2021 second edition. MindFest is an event that focuses on showcasing gifts and talents of individuals with lived experiences, epitomizing that truly indeed there is so much more to an individual than their diagnosis. That indeed mental illness is not a disability. As Glenn Close says, and I quote, "What mental health needs is more sunlight, more candor, and more unashamed conversations." And today we are going to experience just that through conversations and art. The journey continues, and in line with the global theme of the World Mental Health Day, which is tomorrow, mental health in an unequal world, Chiromo Hospital Group commits to continue standing against discrimination and destigmatizing mental illnesses through creating mental health awareness. Just 3 months ago, we celebrated our 25th anniversary, led by our chairman, Dr. Frank Njenga, our able CEO, Dr. Vincent Hongo, and the First Lady, Honorable Margaret Kenyatta. Chiromo Hospital Group launched a global campaign dubbed Tufunguke, encouraging all of us to be bold, to be brave, to open up, speak about our daily stresses as we gear towards changing the narrative where mental health is concerned. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And this particular journey is long, and by marking first steps, we will be making our contribution in the journey to make mental health a welcome conversation in every aspect of our lives. And with those few remarks, I would like to welcome our team leader, our chief guest in Chiromo Hospital Group, the CEO, Dr. Vincent Hongo. Karibu.
Good. To our chief guest, the Executive Director of the Institute of Human Resource Management, to Madam Terry, the CEO of Miss World Kenya Chapter, to the Director of the Chiromo Hospital Group, Director Tony Wainaina, who leads very vital functions, the Board of Directors of the Chiromo Hospital Group. We are blessed to have these two great Kenyans, and ladies come first. So we'll start by acknowledging Miss World Kenya and Mr. World Kenya. To our partners working with us today, the Safaricom Group and the other partners, the invited guests, the executive committee members seated here of the Chiromo Hospital Group, the facilitators and the masters of this great festival and the mistress of this festival, the members of the Fourth Estate who are with us here today, the great artists, the creatives who are changing the narrative, who volunteered and are working aggressively in this space, some who are seated here and others on the digital space, our online audience, good afternoon. Habari zenu. Jambo. Mrembe. We are honored to host you at the Chiromo Hostel Group. Gadhoni, who is leading this great exercise, has highlighted that it's an important day to us as a brand. As a brand, we are running 2 functions concurrently ahead of tomorrow, which marks the Global Federation for Mental Health World Mental Health Day, 10th October every year. We are in Kisumu County in a big way, headed by the CS, Senator Mutahi Kagwe, CS Health, and other actors, the governor of the great county of Kisumu, the presidential advisor on mental health, who is also the chairman of this group. And we are here today on the 6th floor of the Chiromo Hospital Group Level 5. Who is Chiromo Hospital Group? Chiromo Hospital Group was founded 25 years ago, as Gadhonia said, and this year we are honored to host the First Lady of this country, Her Excellency Margaret Kenyatta, in which we launched the Tufunguke campaign, celebrating the milestones that the team has achieved. 25 years ago, Dr. Frank Jenga, Dr. Frederick Owiti, Dr. Maxwell Konji, and the lady called Dr. Ndirangu established this brand. It was established with a clear vision to provide dignified, quality mental health care in Africa, and with a mission to pursue excellence in the delivery of that service by adhering to evidence-based practice. They have traveled that journey. Our corporate values are to uphold honesty, integrity. We innovate when faced with difficulties like COVID did. And in all that we do, from the 25 years ago, is to provide recovery in dignity in this space. The leadership guided this brand, and they have faced challenges, and they've witnessed and experienced great opportunities that have also brought us here today. Today, we have 240 staff who work in this brand. We have 39 partner psychiatrists who work with this brand. We have well over 60 solid clinical psychologists who work with the Chiromo Hospital Group. And they all work together to provide dignified, quality mental health care. In this journey and as a brand, our promise to the world out there is that in the mental health care space, things are possible. And the leadership of the board of directors today, we have 5 branches. Fortunately or unfortunately, Madam Terry and our chief guests, they are located in Nairobi. But the board is expanding that footprint, and very soon will be in most of the counties in this country, because there is increasing demand for mental health care services. Globally, as we walk towards the global Miss World, Mr. World stage, 1 billion people face mental illnesses. It is approximated that 13 to 14% of the 7.9 billion inhabitants of this earth have or face mental illnesses. If you come down age-wise, people between the age of 10 and 19 are severely affected. Again, another 14% of them face mental illnesses. When we talk about mental illnesses as doctors, we know what we say: malaria, diabetes, hypertension, blah, 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 blah. Mental illnesses, one of them is depression that most of us know. globally, more than 300 million people face depression. And depression is a leading risk for development and a risk for enjoying life and being best in what we do. You come down suicide. We saw the other day DCI making reports. Globally again, 1 in every 100 deaths that happen globally are out of suicide. Death by suicide is on the rise. If you look at all this, there's a problem. From the global stage, you come nationally. The president in the pre-COVID era, 2019, commissioned a task force that we were fortunate as a brand to be chaired by Dr. Frank Njenga. They delivered the report in the thick of COVID, July 2020, and reported that 25% of Kenyans face mental illnesses who go to hospitals and go back home. 40% of Kenyans who are admitted in hospitals have mental illnesses. You walk that lane, you come down, and it is devastating that by the age of 14, most of the mental illnesses are obvious. 50% of those who have mental illnesses had mental illnesses from the age of 14. What are we doing to address this problem? Wow. So many things are happening. Before these efforts could be consolidated to have significant gains, COVID hit. COVID has served to reverse some of the gains that had been made. It has halted, it has disrupted those fragile gains that were meant to reverse those harmful impacts of mental illnesses. WHO regards mental illness as a non-communicable disease, just like cancer, diabetes, hypertension, and chronic respiratory illnesses. It is a big problem. It is a rising problem. COVID-19, we understand the lockdowns, we understand the infection, we understand the illnesses, we understand the isolation, we understand the job losses, we understand the bereavements that happened. All these crystallize again to just fuel the factors that escalate mental illnesses. Fortunately enough, with these challenges, there are mega opportunities. May 2021, the World Health Assembly happened, and the global actors say that it is time to act. The attendant economic losses are just huge. $1 trillion are lost, and it is estimated that by 2030, these will go up to $6 trillion related to mental illnesses. And they came together and say that it is time to act. And if there is no action that will be taken up scaling reliable, adequate, dependable mental health care services, then the losses will just escalate. Opportunities abound where we stand today. As Chiromo Hospital Group, we work with the World Health partners, particularly mental health actors. And the theme for this year is mental health for all. That there is mental health in the unequal world. The inequalities, the unequal world also happens in Kenya. Whether it is the resources that are allocated towards this, globally less than 2% of the national resources are dedicated towards this problem. You come down again, less than 1% ever trickle down. The stigma and the discrimination does not help when it comes to accessing dignified, quality mental health care services. IFCs, all the global actors again, have done a lot of research, and it shows that for every dollar invested in mental health care, it yields 5 times the results. If this is invested in drug and substance abuse, then it goes up to 7 times the benefits in terms of crime rates coming down and related economic losses. It is time for us to act. And act. Chiromo Hostel Group, led by the board of directors, are acting and walking steadily in that path of action. We lead in the better part of Africa as a level 5 facility in mental health care provision. We provide curative, we provide promotive, preventive, rehabilitative mental health care services. The building we stand on today, a level 5 as registered by the KMPDC, is a first of its kind in Africa. These achievements cannot be possible without the collaboration of you who is seated here today and watching on the digital space. The anti-stigma, anti-discriminatory activities and gains will be made if we continue to work together. That in this unequal world, there is a possibility of accessing dignified, quality mental health care. Research shows that that will only be achieved if it is anchored on lived experience. And Gadoni and her team today are doing what research shows, that lived experience, the creative artists who've dedicated their time here today will go a long way in reversing some of these detrimental impacts in this space. We appreciate you, we applaud you, we are very proud of you. Kindly clap for the creative artists who are participating today. The Safaricom Foundation, the Safaricom Group, and the Ashley's Group, and many other collaborators that we work with, the 5,200 corporates that we work with, will help in reversing these harmful effects of stigma and discrimination. Places of work are shifting with COVID. Most of us, we spend the bulk of our time at places of work. The good members of the Fourth Estate who are here today with these nice cameras, those of us who are sitting here today, we understand the amount of time that we spend at places of work. COVID-19, the loneliness, the isolation, the job losses have not helped. Now, we, in our mission and vision that is solid on partnership, are partnering with the Institute of HRM. Kindly join me in clapping for the Institute of HRM leadership. That going forward, we will mainstream mental health care services at the doorstep of the HR function. That the stigma that we face at places of work, the inequality, the discrimination that we face at places of work will end with this collaboration. That we must make those consistent, progressive steps to reverse the stigma that make many suffer in silence. And suffer in silence will be no more as we work as Chiromo Hostel Group in the Tufunguke initiative that was launched by the First Lady, Her Excellency Margaret Kenyatta. We invite you all to work with us as we work with the Institute of HRM and many other actors in that space to say that let us open up and have mental health for all in the unequal world. With those many remarks, allow me to invite our Executive Director, Tony Wainaina, to make his remarks. Karibu sana, Director. Asante.
Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, Mrs. Abdullahi. Please give her a round of applause. Thank you very much for being here with us today. Terry Mungai, the founder of Ashley's and the holder of the Miss World franchise. Very happy to see you after a very long time. wearing a different hat. We're both wearing different hats, but it's a great honor to be partnering with you. Dr. Hongo, thank you for your remarks. I think everybody here has captured the essence of our mission here at Chiromo Hospital Group. And even though it is a very challenging task, we feel that we have made huge strides, especially over the past couple of years. With this new facility that we have here, 103 beds, consulting rooms for our consulting psychiatrists and psychologists. As Dr. Hongo mentioned, we are really pioneers in Africa. First level 5 hospital, catering exclusively for mental health. And our campaign that was launched by the First Lady a few months ago, Her Excellency Honorable Margaret Kenyatta, Tufunguke, is really one that we are hoping will permeate the society, especially the youth. Especially the youth. Our lack of awareness is our biggest problem in this country. Not only in this country, but globally. The stigma that's associated with mental health is something we are really trying to destigmatize entirely, 100%. And I think the motto, Tufunguke, the tagline Tufunguke, is really all about opening up at every level, in the workplace, in the home. Politically, we want our political leaders to talk more about mental health. We need to destigmatize the likes of Mathare Mental Health Hospital, which has been part of our lives, since the very beginning, but has carried very, very heavy stigma about, it's really about not really understanding what mental health is about. We all require mental health in some shape or form, whether it's minor or whether it's major. In the journey of life, we cannot pretend that the only health issues we face are physical or physiological. Everything from the neck downwards is what we tend to focus on, but up here is really where it matters. Okay? So we really want to bring you all on board. I'm very happy that we are launching Mindfest today. Today is not really a day for speeches, but it's really a day to enjoy our creative artists and to see what they have to offer and to help us spread this word. So with those few remarks, asanteni sana. Welcome to Chiromo Hospital Group and to Bustani, which is where we are, Bustani Hospital. And enjoy the rest of the day. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
Yes, Gedoni. Thank you very much. Join me in appreciating our director, Tony Wainaina, for those very kind remarks. Our chairman, Dr. Frank Jenga, has a message for us. He's joined the CS as a presidential advisor on mental health for this republic in Kisumu, marking this day. Gadoni, is it ready? Kindly proceed. Let's get the message from the chairman before we proceed. Thank you.
Yet another. Today marks yet another milestone in our journey in the direction of removing the stigma surrounding mental health in our country and indeed globally. The 10th of October traditionally is the day we celebrate the World Mental Health Day. As we did last year, we have brought together a number of men and women who have this very interesting combination of a mental health need and as well as a lived experience and are talented. So all the people that will be participating today will do so because they have talents. They have talents in music, in art, in creative writing, and so on. That creative people have mental health needs more frequently than the general population is an old, well-recognized piece of reality. And there's a lot of debate as to why that might be. And I have my own theories, which are not accepted by many people. But I think that society, the world in general, needs people who are creative, people who can go beyond boundaries, people who can go and search new horizons, people who are not afraid. Another way of understanding what we're doing today, therefore, is to say that we have brought together men and women who understand and who are able to push creative boundaries. As we welcome you to as a Chiromo Hospital group today, I would like to state that moving forward, this group is committed to ensuring that MindFest is an annual event. We hope that in the coming years, more corporate organizations and more citizens of our republic will come together to celebrate the gift of creativity in general, in particular amongst those people for whom a well-established mental health need exists. The other thing that I think is critical about what we're trying to do today is to confirm that which you all know, which is that having a diagnosis in the mental health field really has no, it does not create impairment in the extent to which you, and all of us indeed, can achieve our God-given abilities. And I think at the end of today, we will have persuaded all the doubters and Thomases in our society that the two can go together. A mental health need or a mental health diagnosis and extreme creativity. And therefore, mine is to welcome and thank you for participating in the hope that we will all have a wonderful, exciting, creative afternoon. Thank you.
Asante sana, Chairman in absentia. Join me in clapping for the Chairman and Presidential Advice on Mental Health. If you are not clapping, I'll see you and I'll request you to clap. Mr. Okaka, request this gentleman, my friend, to clap. It's not easy to be a presidential advisor. Asante sana. Indeed, there is health and life beyond mental illness, and they are living very successful lives. Gadoni, with your permission, allow me to invite Miss World, Kenya, to give her remarks on this important social cause for them. As a champion for great beauty, Kenyans are very beautiful, very handsome men. They adhere to social causes, and mental wellness in our society is one of the themes today, and they are here working with us in that regard to ensure that there is mental health in the unequal world. Karibu sana, Miss Obara. Karibu sana. Yes, Jadida, you know it. This is when people stand up when you see Miss Kenya and you clap.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Sharon Obara, Miss World Kenya, and at this moment the psychologist in me is literally screaming. This is a phenomenal step in the right direction, and I am really happy to be part of this great team as I'm going forward to represent the country in Puerto Rico. This will be my Beauty with a Purpose project. I will be championing for mental health on a global platform. So going forward, I'm so excited. I'm just so excited about this. And going forward, I would like us to normalize the conversation surrounding mental health. I'd like to echo something that Mr. Hongo and Mr. Wainaina have said. So one, we aim to destigmatize. I noted that he said death by suicide, not committing suicide. So that's a destigmatization there already. And what Mr. Wainaina said, one of the biggest problems we face at the moment is a lack of information. So we also need to be in the front line to get as much information as we can surrounding mental health so that we can provide the support and the love and whatever is required of us from an informed position and not that of ignorance. So going forward, let us enjoy the afternoon, and I'm looking forward to all of us kufunguka. Thank you.
I can talk after Miss Kenya without, you know. Let's clap for Miss World Kenya. Very stable, normalizing the conversation on mental health. Asante sana. We wish you the best in that journey. We pray and we are praying that we take it back home. We bring it back home. Asante sana. Gadoni, you know, you always say, ladies first. You know, it will not go. Unfortunately, I'm the one leading this session, so. Allow me to invite Mr. World Kenya Franklin Asioyo. Join me in clapping for Franklin.
Thank you, Dr. Hongo. You speak really well. I'm excited to be here, and I'm glad that we are having conversations around destigmatization, conversations around how we can rescue the youth, most certainly because most of you are the stakeholders were included here. I'm happy that you're bringing in talents. Some people I just see on TikTok. And I'm glad that I'm seeing you here today. So this is a journey that started 25 years ago. I was probably 2 or 3 years old. And I wasn't aware that there was anything called mental health that I should take keenly. But then, looking at the far you guys have come, I'm really impressed, and the fact that you're basing everything on evidence-based research. Dr. Hongo, you're doing a great job. Dr. Wainaina, it's a pleasure, and everything you're doing is going towards a greater cause. I get really emotional when I talk about mental health because at some point 2 years ago, I was depressed, and I know how difficult it is to be in that position. So I'm looking forward to having a fun day with you guys and taking a lot of pictures with you. You all look beautiful. So yeah, I hope to have an interactive session with you guys. Thank you again.
Asante sana, asante. Yes, proceed. Utakuwa unasimama tu hapa sasa. Asante, just have a seat. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Indeed, we wish you the best. It shall be well. And depression globally is a leading cause of disability. Not my data, not Chiromo Hospital Group. It is what we are all facing. Let us all work together to allow people facing different circumstances to open up freely and talk devoid of stigma and discrimination of their mental health care needs. Now, we have the CEO who has worked tirelessly over the last 18 years to champion for the beautiful Kenya through the Miss World, Mr. World, sacrificing her time. Karibu sana, Madam CEO, Miss Terry Mungai. Karibu.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon again. I am delighted to be part of this wonderful, auspicious occasion, celebrating a milestone. 25 years is not a small achievement. Congratulations, Chiromo Medical Center. I want to echo, and I think you'd have allowed us to speak first, Dr. Hongo and Mr. Wainaina, because after such eloquent speeches, it's difficult to follow, but we are grateful nevertheless. Thank you for having us. And I want to agree with what you have said, that you are starting to normalize this conversation, because Dr. Jenga happens to have grown up with my husband, and I have known him many years. And having known him as a doctor who takes care of mental patients, you didn't want to mention that name so often, hence people think that you are his patient. So, but now, the way you have normalized the conversation, the way you're making people know and understand that this is normal and it is happening amongst us. And the reason why we have such statistics is because people have been dying in silence. So right now, what you have championed as to Funguke, we need to actually preach this gospel. It is a gospel that people should speak about what they are going through in their workplaces, in their home places, everywhere that we are in Kenyans, having 25% of our people sick and we don't know, it's actually not acceptable. We need to actually have this conversation. We cannot have, and especially young people, and this is touching globally within our society. How sad to see even doctors who we depend upon are killing their families and killing themselves because they have nowhere to run to. We cannot keep quiet anymore. I urge everyone who is here and your networks to funguke. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam CEO, Madam Terry, and we wish you the best as you lead this great team. We'll continue to partner in normalizing the conversation on mental health. We'll continue to partner in the Tufunguke initiative. Asante sana. Let's clap for Madam Terry again. I'm seeing a gentleman called Alifa not clapping properly. Asanteni sana. To our creative artists who are waiting on the digital space, we apologize for the delay. We have only 2 comments and we are done. Good. Gedoni, Safaricom has always worked with us as a great partner. The representative of Safaricom is here. Asante sana. In absentia, we sincerely appreciate the partnership with the Safaricom group. Through and through, they've always worked with us. Asanteni sana in absentia. Now, allow me to invite our chief guest, Madam Qureshi Abdullahi, a solid HR practitioner with both national and international experience, who is currently heading the Institute of Human Resource Management, a fully fledged government of Kenya parastatal that oversees well over 14,000 HRMs. If you are an employee and you have a HR, their boss is here today. Karibu sana, Madam Qureshi. Let's clap for Madam Qureshi.
Thank you, Daktari. As Madam Terry has said, after the two of you speak, it becomes difficult to even speak. And today I must admit, let me tell you this, every time I go out for lunch with my friends and we argue about who is the most beautiful, I always tell them, leave me out, discuss the rest of you because I'm in a class of my own, I'm very beautiful. But today I must admit, I sit in a table with the most beautiful girl in Kenya. And hopefully, she will bring that title back for us from the world. Yeah, all the best, Sharon. Director, Chiromo Group of Hospitals, Mr. Tony Wainaina, Madam Terry, Miss World franchise holder for 19 years and the founder of Ashley's, Miss World and Miss Kenya, the CEO who knows his staff so well and very passionate about what he does, the Chiromo Hospital Group Fraternity, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Allow me first to tell you a little bit about the Institute. So the Institute of Human Resource Management is a statutory professional body which was formed under Act of Parliament 2012, and we sit under the Ministry of Public Service. Our mandate is to regulate, build capacity, and also protect the welfare of the HR professionals. If any of you is seated here and works in an office, I am sure you have a HR professional, and they are registered with us. First of all, I would like to thank the management of Chiromo Health Group for organizing and making this event. I would also like to thank the partners who have done this event and made it as big as it is today. I am delighted to join you this afternoon as the world is prepared to mark the Mental Health Day tomorrow. This is a matter that is very close to my heart at personal level and at organizational level. Mental health is a subject that is not fully understood, despite it being incredibly common in society. And many researchers have described it as a time bomb, which is waiting to blast any time, with dire consequences. Mental health disorders are as a result of many factors, which includes stigma and discrimination, distressful relationships among families, lack of employment, among others. The COVID-19 pandemic has of late been cause of mental health issues related. And that I have experienced as a HR professional. I have joined the Institute about 4 months ago. Before that, I was working at a regional office and have experienced firsthand on how depressing these issues of COVID-19 were on everyone, with fear of job losses, with fear of what will happen next, because something just showed up in the world, and all of a sudden we were equal, regardless of where you are. The most common manifestations of mental ill health in Kenya have been suicide, homicide, alcoholism, drug and illicit substance abuses. Of the entire disease burden in Kenya, 13% is mental illness. Deplorably, the corresponding budget allocation to mental health, Daktari said it's less than 1%, but to be precise, it's 0.1%. You can do the math. However, of late, careful attention has been drawn in this topic nationally and globally. On 10th October 2018, the UN General Assembly Recognizing the mental health disorders and other mental conditions contribute to the global burden to non-communicable disease, resolve to scale up efforts remedifying this situation. The Assembly estimated that 300 million people are affected by depression alone globally. On 1st June 2019, the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, noted in his address to the nation that the country was facing a mental health crisis and ordered the Ministry of Health to implement programs and policies to address this problem. In the year of 2020, a task force of mental health in Kenya was constituted. The task force realized that at least 25% of outpatient and 40% of inpatient in different health facilities had mental illness, and of estimated prevalence of psychosis stated at 1% of the general population. The task force consolidated its findings in a report titled Mental Health and Mental Well-Being Toward Happiness and National Prosperity 2020. I hope you will all get a copy and read that report. And at this juncture, please allow me to congratulate the patron of Chiromo Hospital Group, Dr. Frank Jenga, and his team who are leading this project, him as the presidential advisor. If you look at that work, it touched in every person in our society. In the profession within which I work, I recognize the mental health in the workplace is increasingly becoming an important aspect to consider. This has become more relevant by the challenges that I've mentioned, which came with COVID-19 pandemic. For this reason, most progressive organizations have been taking progressive steps to address the mental well-being of their staff, as this affects their performance and ultimately the employees having mental issues are not able to perform. And this slows you down in terms of meeting your targets and all that. So everyone realized it's an issue that you can no longer keep quiet. How then can the HR professionals contribute to the mental well-being of employees in their respective organizations? There are several ways. And before I even continue with the rest, when I joined the Institute 4 months ago, the national chairman of the Institute also happens to be the CEO for the National Police Commission. And you also know what's happening within the police force. So we've been receiving a lot of requests, especially through our HR professionals. We're facing issues, people are struggling, how can we help them, and all that. And that's how we found the Chiromo group of hospitals. So what can we do as HR professionals? You can set up anonymous portals through which employees can reach out and let the HR manager know that they're struggling. It's very important. You can also organize periodic in-house trainings, what we call debrief. We can sit all in a room, pick an issue, discuss. And you might be surprised if you have 20 people sitting in a room, if it's not relatable to them, it relates to someone within their circle they can support. We need to encourage a workplace culture whereby it's okay to speak about mental health issues. We should not discriminate or stigmatize people for having mental health issues. We need to be loud about it. People have been suffering in silence. Now it's time to be loud about it. And we also need to be empathetic. Because what happens the minute I mention about my mental health issues, in my society, if someone has mental issues, they don't even go far. They'll say, who you? He's a mental case. I don't know what that means, and that is why it stops. and nobody wants to associate with you. And actually that's what leads to depression, and that's what leads to suicide, because once you are discriminated, once you are stigmatized, then the only option is, let me go meet my creator. And also, let's enhance our insurance covers. Issues of mental health, if you look within your covers, they are silenced and added within other issues. And they are capped. You will see limit to this point, limit to this point, which I think at this point as HR professionals and even the insurance providers, let's open that up the same way we've opened up about HIV/AIDS, the same way we've opened up about other critical illness. I like the term tufunguke, my mental health first. We have to normalize mental health by creating awareness. We need to speak about it. We need to share our experiences, just like the Tufunguka initiative suggests. And I will tell you, right now, how many people still talk about HIV/AIDS? We live with people in our houses who have HIV/AIDS. It has become part of us. It's normal. And that has been made possible because we chose to speak about it. At IHRM, we are committed to spearhead the conversation and collaborate in influencing policies and the legal framework as we work towards building safe spaces in our organization where mental health indeed comes first. I always say mental health, mental wellness equals to mental wealth. You cannot have people who are not stable, you will not perform. And I am sure if you go back, you must have asked someone, saying, Kuresha, this is not how you used to perform, what's happening? That is how it starts. And if you don't address from that point, and you give them opportunity to speak about why have they slowed down, this is not the person I've hired, what happened? Then you help the society because you're giving them the space. Rather than saying your work is not good, the first thing that comes to mind is putting the person on performance improvement plans, disciplinary procedures, and the next thing someone has to choose between his issues being exposed or they quit. And quitting is worse because now you've taken away someone's livelihood, which you will have been able to support. And since they cannot support themselves and their family, now the suicide thoughts come in. In collaboration with the Chiromo Hospital Group, we are building the capacity of the HR professionals. And you might ask yourself, you have the psychologists, the doctors, why the HR professionals? When you come for interviews, the first person you encounter is the HR. When you're being onboarded, it's HR. When you're submitting your documents, it's HR. If there are disciplinary issues, it's HR. So I consider the HR professionals to be the foundation of any organization, and they are the rest of us can be the partners, but HR professionals are part of the organization. It's what can make or break an organization. So it's important that we need to build their capacity by designing a curriculum and a toolkit that will enable them to support their team better. And I would like to mention at this point that toolkit is 99% complete. And the next thing we are planning is to start training in 3 levels. First, as psychological first aid. Second, as a master class. And the third, continuous webinars to help them on how they can support their team. Chiromo Group of Hospitals were also very kind enough to offer subsidized care to our members, because we say, who is taking care of the caregiver? Because as HR professionals, we listen and hear a lot. The counselors are trained and they know how to deal with it. But as we get emotionally involved and we go home depressed, in so many ways, you're given a letter, you're told, the business is not doing well, I want you to send home 20 people. And it's very depressing when you hear the HR professionals that I'm going home to have food and someone has just said you've taken away meal from my table, and they don't know how to handle that emotions. So now the HR professionals will be able to access private and confidential services at a subsidized price through the Chiromo group of hospitals, and we thank you for that opportunity. On 12th of this month, we will have a webinar which will be hosted by IHRM together with the Chiromo group of hospitals for the HR professionals on a topic, COVID-era challenges and opportunities, that is presence for the wellness at workplaces. We need to enhance wellness at workplace if we want to build this economy. Also, our 25th annual national conference is scheduled between 26th and 29th of this month in Mombasa. And a major theme we will address is matters of mental health. Again, thanks to Chiromo group of hospitals. Indeed, we live in an equal world and we are all walking different paths, but together we can live in dignity and access to mental health treatment and enjoy fulfilling life. But it all starts with kufunguka. Today, as we commemorate this day, I am very optimistic that this event will provide platform for all of us to discuss, cooperate, and take practical actions about mental health well-being to Kenyans. And to our fourth estate members, the media, please don't tell us which doctor, which police officer committed suicide. You address the nation, you have the potentials, and majority of our media is in the private sector. And I would like to request you all humbly to tell us, to address this on how we can support the society. If we just report a doctor killed himself and his children, we have to go beyond that. Even other animals, you've seen how protective they are of their children. It's not okay to judge someone. It's not normal. And I really, really celebrate the wife of the doctor who committed that in Nakuru. The way she spoke of her husband highly. That's who he was. And that's who we want to remember. The rest, we must admit we failed him. We must admit support was not available. We have the task force report. If our medics are suffering, you tell me about the rest of the society. We need to be loud enough. Let's stop speaking kichini-chini. Tuanze kufunguka. And if you remember during the HIV/AIDS time, there were always these prime time videos that couples going for counseling together. If you're positive, it's okay. There are other ways you can bring out. And the creative actors who are here today, let's start working on such videos. And I know the stakeholders will come out, sponsor this, and it becomes a normal thing on prime time. In our newses, we have vernacular radios. Yesterday I got an opportunity to speak in one of them owned by KBC, and I have spoken to the community that mental illness, you don't just have to change someone. There is treatment for it out there, the same way we have treatment for malaria and other non-communicable diseases. Please, let's speak out, let's help each other. People are doing things differently in silence. We need to come out. We need to be loud enough about it, and it starts with the media. And I would like to see the same videos we were doing for the HIV when it was at its peak, and it becomes normal, so that we help more within the society, far and end, from Turkana all the way to Marsabit. Thank you so much.
Asante sana, Madam Edie. Kindly join me in applauding Madam Edie for those very insightful remarks. Working with the World Bank, IFC, is not an easy job. Her solid experience, action-oriented, places at a very good time in this society, in this post-COVID era, to be able to secure, promote, protect the mental wellness of employees. I am an employee. Thank you very much, my boss. Now, action and action it is. We are honored today to have people who are clearly action-oriented. And the narrative, the stigma, the discrimination will be won only through lived experience. And the guests of honor and the other honorable guests, we have people who've dedicated their time to just change this narrative. That there is mental health for all, and in the unequal world, there is mental health. You will sit, relax, enjoy as they do it the way they do it best. Here we are, over to you Gaboni. Sisi kwetu ni kuketi na kujienjoy. Asanteni sana.
Friends, I must remind us that this event is largely virtual, and so we have people who are watching us on Twitter. And I would want to ask those ones as well as you to take your phones. Take your phone, go on Twitter. You can take a photo of yourself saying that you're making history. At this very point, you are part of the people who are writing history. And of course, you can thank each other later for being part of this. And of course, write it there, tufunguke, hashtag tufunguke, hashtag Mindfest 2021, and let us all be part of this. Friends, there is no reason. I don't know if all of you have grown up the way I grew up, that after high school, after campus, you always start with a room, one room. You know, the one that you enter and then you are there. All of it is there, right? Totally self-contained. And so once you walk in, and for instance, by bad luck, you find a cobra snake. You probably had a bad day. Do you tell yourself, I will sleep, I will deal with this one tomorrow? How many of us would say that this one, sina time yake? How many of us would do that? And this is exactly what we do when we are going in silence, when some of these things are happening around us. And so it is our responsibility to raise the alarm. It is our responsibility to go ahead and be the advocates, people who are going to say and be loud enough to funguke. And so kindly send your tweet, comment on Facebook, do everything that is possible on your social media. Let us all be part of this and shout out loud. Let me ask Yasmin Shabin, who's going to be our first presenter. She's going to be helping us kufunguka with a poem. Karibu sana, a round of applause as Yasmin comes to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all, ladies and gentlemen?
This is how you do it.
Okay, it's off. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all? We are having a blessed day to meet all of us here, and so generous of everyone. My name is Yasmin Shabin. I grew up in Mombasa. And yeah, I grew up in a society that I was fit in a box, and most of us grew up in such a society like that, that you cannot do anything out of the space. You cannot think more or less. You just have to do since the day you're born everything is written, either your family or your society. So when we come talking about mental health, when I started addressing the issue in my society, most of them that told me this was Zungu thing. Only Wazungu suffers from this. And we choose to ignore it. And I choose to ignore it too. Most of the time I was in denial because I didn't know what was happening, but I was suffering until the day that I started accepting. I had a lot of traumas since I grew up, but I didn't know them until that when I started having attacks. Yeah. And so we should start breaking down those cultural beliefs and come out to the society and start educating to Fungoke. So I'm gonna read this poem. If we talk about sexuality, I'm gonna give you a slice of mine. To laser my younger experience of being sexual is through another being someone's rabbit. He was doing his own thing. To top it up all, I orgasmed immediately with a feeling of emptiness, despair, guilt, object a loneliness, and I hated it. I carried on for years. I thought it was normal. I can hardly recall an occasion when I met love. I needed to destroy my inhabitants to myself so I can just make myself invisible. When I knew I needed to change things, I thought I knew what intimacy was. I tried, but I always had an image based on the society. Most of us have come across sexual abuse and got stuck in that channel of shame and society. Let's unfold our sexual stories, because there's nothing like shame. If something has happened to you, that means it has happened to someone else. There's nothing new in this world. Things happen to us, happens to everyone. If you're hurting, someone else is hurting too. So let us not just keep quiet. And no one is hurting more than the other person. If you're hurting, she's hurting too. Stop gaslighting. When you gaslight like I am hurting, that means you're bringing more energy just to prove that you're hurting. And it brings more hurt to you while you're already hurting. If you love, love. If you're hurt, sit with your hurting in a table, talk to it. Just the way you celebrate love is the same way you should celebrate your heart. Cry it out. Celebrate your sadness too. I know it's not easy, but you have to. You have to be in acceptance. So I'm gonna read another poem. I touch lightning golden rays of light engraved across my skin. Melanin I am. This is a symbol of strength, and I will not be ashamed as I rise from the ashes. Internal storms my range within the ocean, waves rising as I pinch and roll my thighs. Who am I to deny my golden stretch marks, and who are you to question my strength? So when we come to identity, I really don't know why we keep on dividing ourselves, just due to culture, due to tribes, while God created us as one. We all look the same. So why do we keep on dividing ourselves just because she's some tribe, so no, I'm not supposed to talk to some tribes. I'm supposed to be with this, I'm supposed to be with that. And while God showed us clearly that we are all humans, we are all one. So I'm gonna read my last poem, and I want us to pull some gravity in the room and close our eyes and put our hands on the chest.
Okay. To love as if you've never loved before is to give a known place within. This means mastering the courage to touch places within yourself. There is a misery. To open up, being witnessed, means you must witness the whole of you. The whole of you have been and will be. To gaze into the eyes of your love while being vulnerable, real, present, and raw means you. You must leave the part that you have been told you are ugly, no good, worthless, fake. To give your heart completely means you must be unattached to life as it's present itself. Know around how it must be, how ideal it must be. This needs you. You can just be open with what life brings you. Knowing it's for you to express your truth without fearing of sarcasm, judgment, or humiliation means you love yourself. You know yourself, all of yourself, to trust without needing something in return, to give the outcome to God, to trust in the unseen, the unknown, and the misery gentle, to move into uniformity, rhythm, and lust of love. And life, another means to surrender that moment as if you're lost, to see beyond the pain. A community, to be still, calm, and pious in the face of chaos. Thank you.
Tufungie macho. Oh, my brother, you're awake. Thank you so much. I thank God for you. Thank you. We ate from the same table. yeah. I'm not saying anything more than that. Thank you. Our next creative is going to be Roy. I request Roy to come up front. I request Roy to come. Yeah, as he comes, I really thank God for what our Madam Chief Guest has really talked about here, because it's the truth. Last year around COVID, I found myself in such a place, and I work in this institution where I am the only staff chaplain with over 1,000 staff, right? And at some point, COVID made several of them be let go. And we all broke down, including myself. I remember there was a whole weekend that I didn't know what to do. However, there is a great need from where I stand, watching people and listening to, the stories that people have. People need to be listened to. And so every employer, every employee, let us give these opportunities for people. And what's more, creativity. Let us ask our brother, my brother, remind me your name. I said, is it Tom? Yeah. All right. You're Wafula. Great. Wafula, when did you first play your first chord?
2016.
2016. Yeah. Are you comfortable to talk about your diagnosis?
My story is really based on other people's experiences, because I have been the kind of person who is tries as much as possible to be available for people to listen to their stories and to try and connect with them. I hadn't really experienced anything that I would classify as a mental condition until just recently. I haven't really talked about this much here, but the past about 2-3 months weren't the easiest. And because it was very strange for me, I didn't know, I hadn't experienced it before. I didn't know that I actually had some sort of loose link. So it was only when deadlines started hitting that I realized, hey, you have to do this, you have to do that, and I had close to zero energy to do anything. So I've only talked to friends who have tried to point me to towards, getting better. So I am, let's just say I'm still in that midst, but it's much, much better now.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Your guitar has been useful?
Very, extremely. Yes.
Great. All right, so let's appreciate his courage. His courage, I'm sure it is encouraging a lot of people right now. And if you have a guitar, you have a piano, you have any ability, let's join him and do this.
Okay, so I wrote this at a time again when I was just trying to connect with people. So I realized that a lot of people are going through things that were pretty tough for them. So it was just me trying to translate their pain. So this is a story of tragedy. It doesn't have a happy ending, but only because I wanted to paint it that way to be able to sensitize people to be human. We all go through things in life. Ups and downs, lefts and rights. Some things leave us happy, other things not quite. And in those moments, in those dark days, we decide to reach out to people for help. We cry, we yelp, and sometimes we just, our voices go unheard. And it is in those moments that we now realize that there's a side of life we really don't like so much. I have this hole in my soul and I'm losing control of it. Oh Lord, why am I here? It's unclear, wish I could just disappear. Even though when I asked you told me it gets easier, this devil just keeps getting greedier. It's okay, I have no need to stay. I'm going away. Hey, what's the point of living if I always have to tolerate the pain? Irony under iron sheets, but I always have to tolerate the rain. It's insane. I'm alive, blood is in my veins, but up in my brain I'm as good as dead. I'm only sober when I'm on cocaine. No other way I can numb this train. I feel inside, I cannot decide how to take a hike, jump off a bike or a building or a freaking aeroplane when I'm high above the world that hates me. Don't say I'm wrong, it's too late, it's not on debate. I just close my eyes and pray to God to open up his pearly gates. Cause I got this hole in my soul and I'm losing control of it. Oh Lord, find my head. It's unclear, wish I could just disappear. And even though when I asked you told me it gets easier, this devil just keeps getting greedier. It's okay, I have no need to stay. I'm going, who the hell am I kidding? Kuna mbinguni mimi naenda na zile vitu mimi utenda na shuku hata shetani tadai return to sender. Na najua hamwezi kubali nikidai vile niko sikupenda kwangu kila mtu magistrate. Judgmental yet hakuna msee ashai kuja kwangu kuniuliza kaa niko fiti. Nangoja story ya vichi ndo mkuje home tu kujaza viti. Machozi ugali kuni kiberiti. Maybe the world is in such a bad place, but the people up inside the shit. Nilingia hii dunia peke yangu nisiwahi sikia juu ya marafiki cause I got this hole in my soul and I'm losing control of it. Oh Lord, why am I here? It's unclear, wish I could just disappear. And even though when I
I asked, you told me it gets easier. And this devil just keeps getting greedier. It's okay, I have no need to stay. I'm going away. I can't bear all this weight on my shoulder. It gets heavier as I get older. Some days I get bolder, but this world just keeps getting colder and colder. Finally made my mind up, I'm gonna leave all the baggage behind. Forget every single thing, no rewinds. But first, let me be the one reminding you about the times I came to you. Ukanifukuza, ukanipuuza, tenkiwa mchafu, ukunipanguza. Though you never saw it, you were the abuser, but I fought my way out. I only won the battle, you had won the war. No, there's nothing left for me to fight for. There's nothing I would really like more than to go away right now. Maybe that way I can feel okay. All my scars are gray right now. No one cared about what I had to say. The changes today. Cause today I'm taking matters in my hands. You'd have tried to stop me when you had the chance. Finger on the trigger, about to make it dance. I can hear the sirens ringing in advance. Take a look around, one final glance. Lifted with a smile, press it on my head. I can't wait to see you when you see me dead. Let's all try to be human.
Before you go, these two girls deserve a standing ovation. Kindly, as you clap for them. Thank you so much. Yeah. And at least, yes, thank you. Thank you. And a gift. When we grow up, we will be like you, and we will keep being women. Thank you so much. Thanks, Brian. All right. Thank you. Let's take our seats.
Is it just me, or is there something about expression? Some way that you can put how you're feeling into words? I want to take this opportunity to thank all the TikTokers, who helped us push Mindfest on our platforms. Thank you very much. I will invite Samuel. I'll invite Samuel to say a word.
When we were contacted for this, I never knew of the culmination or that I will be called in front of as good people, as good-looking people as you do today. But then this is a subject that I hold closely to my heart. I come from a background where people joke about this issue. They say when someone from the other side, if you can relate, when they are disturbed maybe mentally, that's depression. And then when it's from Islands and below, wanaita changamoto. Lakini, let's normalize this conversation as we've just said. I am Samuel Ojuang, TikToker, content creator, a designer. I'm a dancer and a dance choreographer. I wear many tags. I love them, and I'm just a person who loves expressing myself. And many a times you find you're in a space where you can no longer do it because maybe if it's ways you express yourself, you will produce good work at one point, and then the next time you're trying to give out good work, you feel like you've stagnated, and the pressure is there. You're walking in the streets, you're going to work, there's that pressure. People want more. You see, that's where you may find yourself. Maybe you may end up doing things maybe that are not in alignment with your brand or something. So what I encourage us to do is open up, make it a normal thing. Don't joke about this, because at the end of the day, if you're not well up here, any other thing that you do is will totally not be good, because the brain is everything. If it's not rested, if it's not fed well, because as the Bible says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because you've refused my knowledge, I'll refuse you as my prophet. I can't give what up, right? And I can only have out knowledge. I can only speak here because there's something I know, right? But if I know nothing, of course, I'll come here, I'll blabber, nitaongea volumes and volumes, but then I'll end up having said nothing, sindio? So encourage your friend, make your friend. This is a generation of hide my ID, sindio? Make sure you feel like home, sindio? Feel like home first. Make sure if they speak to you, you're the only person who's true to yourself, sindio? You'll know that you're not supposed to speak of what you've been told by anybody, and masquerade yourself as a friend, yet you know at the end of the day, you're not a safe spot for anybody. Just be a safe spot. Engage people, sindio? Because as a creative myself, if I'm not good, whatever I produce is out of how I feel. If I feel sad, I can never go in front of a camera. But if I am happy, my content is happy content. I am a dancer, and you can't shake your waist with a sad face. You can never. You look very bad. So I'll encourage us to feel like home, and at the end of the day, let's celebrate this day, make it worthwhile. Let it not end here, on the spaces, Twitter, and everywhere. Let it be known that this happened and it never stopped, right? Thank you very much.
Great. And so here we are. I think we are going to have a time. These are our panelists.
I hope you guys are still enjoying yourself. Yes. Remember we said that today is about having an ashamed conversation, sunlight and candor. So next, we are going to just have a brief panel conversation. And in this panel, we are going to have Jacinta Wangari. Please join me. We'll also have Nimrod Kihoro. Kindly join me as well. And George Njoroge. We could use another mic. Thank you. So I'll start with I'm going to start with George George Njoroge is our hospital psychologist here at Chiromo Hospital Group, a mental health advocate, and also one of the senior psychologists in Chiromo. And we are happy to have you here, George.
Thank you.
Okay. On my right, we also have Joyce Wangari. Joyce Wangari is here on the capacity of a caregiver. She'll be telling us more about that. She is also the founder of Impact a Generation, which is an organization that focuses on mental health and wellness. Let's clap for Joyce. Yes, and last but not least, we have Nimrod Kihoro. Nimrod Kihoro, karibu sana. He is also here on the capacity of a client. He's been one of our clients today. He'll be sharing his journey with us. And Nimrod is a mental health advocate and also a police officer. He is an AP. Yes, yeah. So karibu sana. Right, allow me to start with George. This event is specifically focused on art and in the creative spectrum. Being one of the psychologists who is in charge of art therapy that we have here at Chiromo Hospital Group, how is art important in recovery? Yes.
Thank you for that question. To begin with, when a patient is admitted to our hospital and you go to call them for art therapy, and the moment you mention art, the first thing that comes to their mind is, am I going to draw? You know? And you're talking to maybe a 50-year-old man or woman, maybe 70-year-old, because we have also had quite senior patients here. And when you tell them about drawing or maybe expressing themselves, they ask you, am I going to draw like a child? Because most of the time, drawing and art is related to, maybe associated with children, especially when they are beginning their learning process. So the concept of art therapy is basically misunderstood by most people, but when you come to the psychological arena, it is something that is very, very essential. One, because there's a person who may not be able to tell you what they're going through. And I'll use an example of children, and especially between the ages of probably 5 to around 11, 12, they may not explain so many things in their lives, and through art, you get to know this child is either abused, they're going through hard times at home, and or in school, they're not able to cope. For the psychologists who are watching this, there's a very common concept that we use, house, tree, person, see? And in the tree, we check if this person is able to understand what a tree looks like, and if they're able to mention the fruits, maybe the different aspects, because from a psychological perspective, we know that if they don't mention the fruit, maybe if they do not draw the fruit, then there must be a problem. In the house, how does the house look like? Does it have a door? Does it have a ceiling? Is the chimney shaped on top? So such things help us to interpret so many psychological aspects which cannot be said verbally. Another point for now an adult who is interested in art therapy, which is very key, you're able to put to paper things that you cannot tell your therapist, and through that they're able to know that I've gone through this, or maybe this is what I used to be to cope with the situation that I have. So art therapy forms a major factor. Maybe it is very typical when it comes to what we do here at Chiromo.
Thank you so much, George, for that. And I hope all of us, both in here and watching us online, we can be able to factor that art does not only apply in the spaces, in clinical setups, but these are things that we can engage in when we are at home with our children, with our friends, just to help us, distress and express ourselves. On my right here, I have Joyce Wanjiru, who is here on the capacity of a caregiver, and I really
I would like her to just share her story, however she feels comfortable in regards to caregiving, because as much as we focus a lot on individuals who have diagnoses, the caregiver is highly neglected, and we do not want to do that as we continue with this journey of highlighting tufunguke. It's not just for individuals with lived experiences, but also caregivers as well. So allow me to welcome Joyce. Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me today. And so I'll share my story briefly. So I grew up in Kibera, and in a family of 3. I have 3 siblings, and I was the firstborn. I'm the firstborn in my family. And the thing, so when I was growing up, there was so much, there was domestic violence in my family. So I watched my parents fight. My dad was my dad drank, used to drink a lot. So, and there would be fights, you know, here and there at home. And being the firstborn, I was always caught in the middle of that. And because of that, my mom developed depression at some point, and she was so depressed. And so most of the time she would just be crying. And when she would be crying, I'll be wondering what's happening to my mom. And all she would tell me is, just pray for me. And that, you know, I'd close my eyes and pray for her. But this continued, and at one point, my mom had it all, and she just wanted to die. So she planned to die by suicide, and what she did is she sent me to buy some kadawa. I don't know whether it's still there, but it was called rat. So she sent me to buy that, and her plan was to, you know, take the rat and also take it with us, the 3 of us, because she was like, who am I going to leave my children with? And so the day she sent me to buy that rat, I went to the shop asking myself, why is mom sending me to buy this, and yet I have not seen rats in our house? And so while I was thinking about it, I, you know, got carried away and I went to play. So by the time I was coming back home later in the evening, I found my mom. She's okay. She had reached out to a friend, and she was okay. But anyway, issues in my family didn't end there. And so what this did to me is it pushed me to a place where I started having anxiety attacks. And I remember when I went to boarding school in high school, I would have attacks just while in class, and, you know, people would wonder what is wrong with me. And I struggled with anxiety all through my high school, and I didn't know who to tell or where to seek help, so I just kept it to myself. I couldn't tell anyone what was happening in my life and what I was going through, because I was wondering, what if my mom decided to buy rat while I was away, and I find that she died with my siblings? So this really troubled me. And when I went to college after, I actually opted to do psychology, because I was like, I need to find help for myself and for my siblings and for my mom. And yeah, so that's why I'm here today. And that led me to start Impata Generation, which is a mental health awareness program that I run. And in this program, we train on social emotional learning for children. And for this, I want to really create awareness and let parents know the things that you do in the house thinking that children don't see, they're actually seeing, and these things can actually affect them and actually push them to having mental health problems. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joyce, for that. And that's what we're talking about. Just taking the step to be bold, to be brave, and to share our stories as authentic as we can be. Allow me to also welcome Nimrod to just take us through his journey.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate being here. My name's Nimrod. Yeah, I'm a police officer in Langatar. Do you know that place? Bagadi Road, SGB. That's where I come from. I really appreciate being here. I remember some days ago, almost 2 weeks ago, I was here. I was living this place, being a changed person, because I came here looking for help, and Chiromo Hospital has done much through this Chiromo Hospital. You have made me a changed person, because many officers out there, they get into tough times, and we really appreciate what you are doing for us guys, and I really appreciate so much what you are doing. I don't know how I can express this, but I really appreciate whatever you are doing, and it has changed my life. I don't know how I can express it, but you have really changed me, and I'm looking forward to change many others who are in wako kwa shimo. That is, yeah. I really appreciate Sana.
Thank you so much, Nimrod, for that. It really does take a lot of courage to share your story or any story, and I'm sure we can be able to attest to that in our own spaces. It's not an easy thing just to share intimate parts of yourself, but because of the courage that you have shown today and every other day that you've been a mental health advocate, I'm sure that a lot of people now feel and understand that they are not alone in this. One of the things that really stands in the way of creating awareness is stigma, and us being Africans and culturally, stigma is really heavy on us, and I'd like to welcome George just to highlight you as a psychologist. How do you help your clients or the people around you how do you prepare them to deal with stigma out there?
Thank you, Galoni. I think first and foremost, defining what stigma is very important, because I think that's a word that you've mentioned over and over again, and it was there even during the HIV era, as you've had. And basically, it is a form of discrimination, put on someone because of either their gender, race, or even what they have. And for today, we are going to discuss mental health stigma. And stigma can be in different forms. It could be social stigma. You could have self-stigma, because as much as one can be diagnosed with mental health condition, they may end up even stigmatizing themselves. So from a psychological perspective and also as a professional, how do I then help someone to be able to maneuver through stigma? Number one is to understand where this person is coming from, because you all come from different places. For someone who is privileged enough to know that the family to understand what mental health is, then it becomes much easier because they can be able to create that shield for this particular patient. But what about that person who comes from the village, where any form of mental illness, it is dubbed as, we say this person has gone berserk, and maybe it was just depression, maybe it was just anxiety. So how do you explain to this family that what you're doing is stigma? So number one is ensuring that the family understand what the person is going through, and that is why we have the family sessions where we psychoeducate these people for them to have the nitty-gritties or maybe the information that this is what it is. It is not what you are thinking about. After that, then you can use them, because now they become your ambassadors. When they go to the community, they can be able to explain maybe to the extended family that this person was ill just like any other illness, malaria, cancer, and they can be able to function. So that is one of the ways that we ensure that we tackle stigma. Secondly, is to now for this patient, because most of the time we focus on stigma in terms of the society, but also this patient may also have self-stigma, and helping them understand what they are going through, and also assuring them that they can be able to be as functional as they were before is very important. And through that, the patient themselves can also be a cheerleader in terms of ensuring that they're not stigmatized, because if they are strong enough to talk for themselves, it becomes easy for them to, if someone mentions something that is not true, they can sit them down and tell them, actually what you have is all wrong. This is what I've been experiencing, and this is how I'm dealing with it. And you as a person, you can help me in 1, 2, 3. So those are two major, they're like big umbrellas. So we have nitty-gritties down there, but those are two major ways that we normally use to ensure that this person is able to handle stigma both from the outside and also from the inside. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, George. Just allow me to quickly head over to my right. And as we come to a conclusion of this conversation, Joyce, as a caregiver, what are some of the things that have been working for you throughout this journey?
Thank you so much. I think I'll start by just explaining what does it mean to be a caregiver. So when you're a caregiver, it basically means you're the person who is taking care of the person who has either a psychosocial disability, which is mental health challenge, or a physical disability. And some of the things that I would recommend that I've seen work is, first of all, educate yourself about the mental health challenge that your loved one or the person you're caring for is going through. That is very helpful because you're able to understand what exactly are they going through. What do they mean when they do this? What do they mean when they don't want to talk to anyone and they just want to lock themselves? So it's very important to educate yourself. The other thing, remember, as a caregiver, you also face challenges. If you're taking care of someone with a mental wellness, that also, it's so much work for you, and it can also get you to a point where you're
again. Me, I would say, since I left this place, there is much that I learned here through my psychiatrist, psychologist. There are triggers out there, but in this life you have to be strong enough to know what you want, what you want to deliver, what you want your children to know you as. And that's what has been keeping me moving since I left this place. And I would love to tell youngsters out there who are into influence with alcohol and drug abuse. There's much that they haven't seen in the other world of not taking drugs or not taking drugs. When you are taking drugs or you are in alcoholism, you can't think properly. You can't be on yourself. You can't know what to do. You will find yourself into many problems, and it's not good for youths to be in that situation. And I would love to tell people out there that know yourself, jijue, na ujitoe kwa hiyo shida mapema. The earlier the better, because these things they will leave you when you are dead. So ni heri ujitoe mapema, and that's my hivyo tu naweza ambia tu mavijana huko nje. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nimrod. Jijue, jionge. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Jifungue.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. Any last words you have for caregivers out there and also individuals with lived experience?
Thank you, Gadoni. I think I'll echo what our caregiver here who has mentioned about that caregivers also need help, because you'll never give what you don't have. If I don't have 100 shillings and you're asking me for 100, then I don't have it. I cannot give what I don't have. So it is very important for caregivers to take care of themselves, because through that they can be able now to go ahead and offer that service to their loved ones, because the loved ones, they siphon their strength. So for them to be able to be at a good space, take care of yourself, learn more, learn better ways to be able to be a caregiver, and more importantly, learn better ways to take care of yourself, because without you, you won't be able to give to your relative or your family. Yeah.
Thank you. You cannot give what you don't have. Yeah. And the first rule is to always replenish yourself. Joyce, any last words you have for caregivers out there?
I don't know how many people are caregivers here. Anyone? Oh yes, we have someone. And I think we are many of us here. I think I just want to say one thing. Please go and read the CRPD. It's a conventional rights the rights for people with disabilities. This one thing that's I think the principles, yes, go and read about the principles. Let's remember, as we care and give unto these people, let's remember that they are also human beings and they are right bearers. And our theme for this year is, somebody? Yes, Grace? Yes, mental health in an equal world. So let's learn to view them as people with rights, and let's also hear them out. What do they want? Let's remember that it's not about us pushing ourselves into them because we're caring for them. It's not about us pushing decisions onto them. Let's remember they're human beings, and let's also hear them out and give them more love. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joyce, for that. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And discrimination and stigma starts right from the family. We talk a lot about the society, but the society is you and I. And if we can be able to change our attitudes towards mental illness, towards mental health, then the stigma in the society will also equally go down. Thank you so much to our panelists for sharing with us authentically. And I'm going to hand over to Benjamin. Karibu.
Thank you so much. You may take your seats. That was quite an enlightening session here. All of us have kids. What do you still remember out of what we said? Anything that intrigued you? Any of us? Something that is still in your mind that someone said there? Anyone? Yes, sir. You can't give what you do not have, right? It's impossible for you to give what you do not have. And so it's always important for you to be replenished so that you're able to replenish others. Thank you. We are going to have one virtual performer. Her name is Paula. Paula is going to be doing a violin performance. And so hoping that the media team is ready so that we can go ahead with Paula.
At the University of my passion is always in music, and I've been learning violin, and today I'll play a song, Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.
performance. I would now want to welcome a sketch artist by the name Shawn to give us a display of his art. Shawn, karibu sana. Hi, Shawn. How are you feeling today?
Hey. Hello, guys.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, my name is Shawn Muga, and I'm a pencil artist, a painter, and this is what I do for a living. And I would like to talk a bit about how my journey.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So I started drawing when I was young, drawing cartoons on magazines. I used to take my dad's magazines, and there was a page where there was this part of cartoons were being drawn to explain something, and that's how I began. Then as time went by, I remember when I was in primary school, people realized that I knew how to draw. So, and most of them didn't know. And since I was not being given pocket money with my parents, I used to use my talent at least to get something, 5 shillings or 10 shillings to at least buy something during break time. Groundnuts, mandazi. So that's how it all started. Then when I finished primary school, I remember I went to high school, and I was really hoping I would go to a high school that at least has art classes, but it was too unfortunate. I was thrown to Western, to a school which only loves soccer. So, and I was talented in also playing football. So it came a point I stopped drawing and I focused majorly on playing football. But now it came a point where the school again, I don't know if I had bad luck, then I was not being chosen among the school team because I was sorry to say this, if my principal is watching this, I was a Luo and they were favoring the Luyas. So that pushed me away from soccer, and I had to focus on my academics at that time, and told myself that when I go to campus, at least I will work hard and pursue an art course. So I worked hard and finished, and just to leave that aside, I remember when I was young, just like the story, one of the people who have been here in the panelists talking about how they grew. I remember when I was young, I can't say I knew much about mental health, but when I grew up, then I came and remembered how I just figured that at some point in life when I was young, I once suffered from mental health problems like stress, cause I was living with my mom and my dad, and at some point they are just family issues and parents have to disagree. Now watching them disagree, watching them argue, and sometimes fighting, it really used to affect me and my academics terribly. I was so much stressed. I was not able to at least focus in my studies. I was not putting so much consideration in my talent in drawing, because coming from school daily, knowing that I'm just going to a house where maybe there is no peace. I'm not sure if today we will laugh. I'm not sure if today we will smile at each other. So it really used to affect me. I can say when I was young, that's the time as I suffered from mental health. Then when I grew up, there is this second time now. And during the journey of growing up, I've grown in a society whereby people have, I don't know how they have put this, but it's like they don't want to see a man crying or expressing how he feels, because he will maybe feel less of a man. Maybe if you're seen crying and you're a man, you'll be told, wewe ni mwanaume, acha kulia, amka, upambane na issue, boy child. So, like sasa, and it has, ilifanya, like, when I'm growing up, it was so hard for me to open up about how I feel, about the things I'm going through, about the pain that I have deep inside. And due to all that, I grew up until to the age of 18. I was not someone who could talk to someone about how I feel and reach out for help, because the time that my parents were not in good terms, they had to go the separate ways, and I had to move with my mom. And you know, there are some things as a man you can't get the courage to talk to your mom about. So I had to keep it to myself. And one thing I can say is I also suffered at that time, because I used to see how my friends, maybe online or physically, with their parents going out, their parents taking them for outing or academic school or academic events. I see maybe my friend, he or she is with both parents, the mom and the dad, and but on my side, my dad was not around. So I was really stressed, I was really bored. Like, I would see them and wish and tell God I wish I also got to grow up at least and experience a fatherly love, because most of my life up to now, I've only felt the love of a mother. And I used to grow up, I was growing up saying, I wish my dad was here so that I can at least get to feel the love of a father. So that really affected me mentally. So another time that I suffered from mental health, and I believe that mental health is real, you know, I never used to believe that mental health is real until when I came and I lost my dad. And it really affected me emotionally, because one, I wished at least at some point in life maybe I could get to live with him, maybe I could get to at least feel how other friends of mine felt. And just to leave that, keep that aside, is I remember when he passed away, I really went through mental health issues, remembering I never had to get to feel his love. So it affected me mentally. I was stressed, I was depressed, and like a week, I was not eating, I was not doing anything, I was not able to draw. So I'll say that's one time that it also affected me badly. And in front of me is two pieces that I've done. One is mine, I don't know if it can be seen, and the other one is for someone so special. And when I used to draw, I was not doing it this good, but at least for not giving up and at least going on, working hard day by day, at least I am proud of myself of where I've reached. At least I can do better than how I used to do it back in primary school. And I'm so proud of this event. I'm so happy when I was called. I was so excited. At least I figured out that I'm going to get a chance to present my work to people, important people, and at least I can get maybe connections, you never know, get someone who's interested. Like, I'm so proud to present my work to you. And as an artist, I can say being an artist has often been a very vulnerable path for me to take. You make something so deep, personal, and then present it to the world with an open heart. I have failed at some point. I've been embarrassed with myself. I've lost, but I embrace it because it's inevitable. I remember I once drew someone, but I was not that good, but he told me this is not me. Then I imagined the days and the nights, sleepless nights I had, and the energy I placed on that piece. Then then the person tells you, this ain't good, this is not me. So at some point I've embarrassed myself, and I try different skills, but still I fail. But I never choose to fall back, because at least I fail knowing that I'm at least trying. And kept on trying on the next art, and the next art, and the next art. And above all, I used to pray and pray, but still I used to fail. But it doesn't matter, because if you hang around a barber, sooner or later, you'll also get your hair cut. So sometimes you try so hard at something, be prepared, but still you fail. And every time you fail, it's painful, it causes sadness, and especially, as I have seen in my previous arts that I've done, it causes disappointments. But I'm so proud of myself that no matter how hard, no matter how great the setback, how severe the failures, I never gave up. I picked myself up, brushed myself up, and moved forward. And I learned that every failed experiment is one step closer to success. And right now I have nothing else to fall back on. Art is my everything, art is my life, and my life is art. And I'm going to use art as a way of chasing away or keeping or helping me cope with mental health problems. And anytime I draw, I at least help myself to keep away from stress or anything that's really disturbing my mind. And I hope that any artist out there watching this will be motivated by my work, will be, at least he or she won't give up. He or she should know that I didn't start here. I start from far, and I was not doing this good, and I'm proud of myself, and I believe I will do better than this. Thank you so much for this chance. May God bless you all.
Tell us where people can find you online.
Online, on Facebook, I'm Shawn Muga. Instagram is Muga Shawn. And I have a page in Facebook, is also Muga Shawn. And my number, my contact is 0702 782 468. 0702 782 468. Thank you so much for this chance.
Thank you so much, Shawn. Again, a round of applause for Shawn. Thank you so much for your boldness and for your candor. So if you're watching us from home, you can watch this advert from our sponsors. Thank you so much for gracing us Safaricom. We really appreciate your support.
Shusho, wamesema hakuna harusi. Kwa nini? Hapana. Shusho, itaendelea. Nani anasababisha harusi? Kofi.
Kibrea kote tustimiwe do.
Nasema Safaricom iko na free data kila siku. Sasa tunaweza kustream hiwe do.
Hi Shusho.
Right.
Pata hadi 500 MB free kila siku. Piga star 544 hash na uchague unlock free data. Mwelekeo ni internet.
Thank you. I also want to take this opportunity to announce our TikTok winner we undertook a challenge on TikTok, and the winner for that particular TikTok was Esther Amondi. We'll be in touch as you collect your gift. So now I want to welcome a painter who is going to be joining us online. His name is Joseph Nabster.
My name is Joseph Shege, also known as Nabster. I'm an artist based off in Lamu, Kenya, and I primarily take images, draw, and make sculptures. The reason why I draw is that it's an investigation into my own self. It's a journey that I take into myself to question my ego, to question my relationship with the world, to question the reason why I'm in this in the first place, and to be able to have a mirror of myself with my emotions and express exactly how I feel in a raw and free way. I think drawing presents a certain freedom. The way you hold your breath as you draw a straight line becomes a meditative practice, a breathing exercise, and a way for me to question the world and to investigate myself a bit further. This body of work that I have created is called Metamorphosis, and it details a journey in my mental health since I was admitted last year at Chiromo Lane Bustani for depression and suicide. And this has also become a way for me to record my events during this time, to question what I was feeling, to be able to document it in a way so that I may never forget where I'm from, because that gives me the strength to endure whatever is coming forward. It has not been easy, but I'm grateful that there have been, my therapists have been there. There's been doctors who have been able to help me through the journey, and the love of family and friends that have renewed me, and my zeal for life has come alive, as well as my zeal for making through this process. So I drew this body of work, and there's a transition in it where there are quite dark images that I drew beginning of 2020 before my admission. And even as I continue to recover, I continue documenting this almost on a daily, and it has allowed me to document my recovery. You'll notice the images move from almost dark to light, and this has been a testament to my own very life. This work has been healing. This work has been the clutches that I have held on to when times were dark. This work has been a therapy for me, and it has promoted mindfulness. It has promoted, a freedom and surrender in my work, and I'm eternally grateful for the gift to draw and to make worlds within myself. So that has been Joseph Chege for you. Thank you so much.
A round of applause for Joseph Nabster. Up next, we have another painter by the name Maryam Ahmed.
My name is Maryam Ali, and I love painting. I come from the old narrow streets of Old Town, Mombasa. I started experimenting with watercolors at the age of 13, and I bought my first acrylic paint when I was 17 years old. I have learned different painting techniques from the internet, especially from social media platforms, and I mainly work with acrylic mediums, and I prefer using symbolism of colors, nature, and objects to represent my works. In this painting, we can see that there is a dark background, an hourglass with a golden casing, and a bleeding brain. The dark background represents the negative and toxic environments we surround ourselves with in life. So, what's a toxic environment? A toxic environment is any place or any behavior that causes harm to your health, your happiness, and even your well-being. It may be people who make you feel small or make you feel insecure or bad about yourself. Toxic environments breed mental and emotional stress. In this painting, the bleeding brain is as a result of the dark and toxic environment. The dripping blood symbolizes the pain, the agony and the detrimental effects of surrounding yourself in a toxic environment. As for the hourglass, it shows that life is finite and it's not worth it surrounding yourself with such a dark environment. The hourglass is also something so delicate as it's made of glass and it can easily break, just like a human brain. So, if you don't take care of your mental health, you will have a breakdown and lose yourself. As for the golden casing, it represents the preciousness of your brain. The golden casing is protecting your brain and it's what is making the hourglass stable. It represents your sanity. It's what is holding everything together. So be mindful and take care of it. In this last painting, we get to contemplate that not every day will become like this sea and sky. But we have to appreciate that some days will be stormy, sad and rough, just like this sea and clouds. So, we need to understand that there is nothing wrong or evil about having a bad day. Some days are just bad days, that's all. Indeed, we all have to experience sadness to know happiness. Lastly, I would like to thank the Chiromo Mental Health Hospital for organizing this event and giving artists a chance to showcase their creativity in creating awareness on mental health. I would also like to thank all those who helped me in making this project a success. Thank you.
A round of applause for Maryam, Ahmed, quite inspired work there. Up next, we have a poetry performance by Tayen Musa.
The soul, my soul, cherishes the miracle of you, how you know how to hold me, dear friend. When I'm in my feelings, when I'm stuck in my shell, you take me from the dark side and into your sunshine. You take me to your beautiful place and shake me down till I come alive. Born out to know from yes, I found myself. Will you teach me how to become a miracle worker too?
Usilie mwenzangu niko nawe hapa.
So what is it like really? This manic depression thing, just.
Ukikwama mwenzangu nitakuinua.
Ask if you can picture the doorway between heaven and hell. Or let me say, before you believe in this world, then it's not a good place to be in. Trapped between feeling on top of the world and kicking the bucket, blaming myself for the reality I should be grounded on catching fire. As I'm struggling to disentangle my lines of thought, I stand a lot in the way of whoever means well like Lord. I disconnect a lot in the future and whatever. Hang in there, she says. Cause when earthquakes come, the door is the safest place to be found there. In it.
Thank you so much. One of our guests is almost leaving, and so allow us kindly, just at this juncture, to take a break, acknowledge them, and share a gift to them. And so, Madam Gathoni. All right, I think we can go to the next one as we wait. Mohammed. Life Beadwork. Yes, karibu.
Maxwell Otieno. As it is been said here, Mindfest for mental health And what I can say, the journey has not been easy. You may not know, but we all have our issues. The difficult part is who to talk to, which have been struggling with it. But I tend to run away from the reality by listening to music or making the beadwork, which I came to put a stop in it after watching a certain series some few days ago of a character in this series who was every time and then was running away from the reality of what was happening to the person. It is not easy. So I took a step of talking to a psychologist, which has been helping me since that day. Coming to art, I started my art back while I was in primary school, when my friends were making their bead, and I was just idle there looking at what they were doing, and I was interested in what they were doing. So I had nowhere to go. I was just looking at what they were doing and started making myself busy with the residue, au tuseme zile mabakisho wamebakisha hizi raw materials zao. Hivyo ndo nilianza. And just to show you my pieces, these are what I do. And this is the last one I have made for a certain television. It's a new television. It's a logo, ETV. I don't know if you people know it. And I have another one here with me, which I made for myself. It's a guitar. It's a guitar with capital M on it for my name, Maxwell, and the music signs. Yes, I tend to tell myself that every time I take time to make a piece, it won't be the same as the one I made last time. So when I'm idle, I have nothing to do, I will scribble something down and I will start working on it until it is perfect. And through this journey, what I do believe in is that we are not perfect. Even if you are not a beadwork artist, but you can help me come with a nice art, which has been helping me so much. When I can say that when I was making this logo, it was difficult, but my sister will come and say that hapo hujafanya vizuri. Though she is not a beadwork artist, but she'll say hapo hujafanya vizuri. And I will sit down, look at it, and destroy everything and start all over again, and come with a nice piece, and she will say, now, uko sawa, uko sawa. That's how I do the beadwork. This has really helped me not to allow depression, anxiety to take over and control me, because I tend to stop thinking of the things that are making me to be depressed and focus on the beadwork. Thank you.
Wow, he deserves a better clap, kindly. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Sure, if you're interested with those, you can see him after this and probably engage him and encourage him above everything else. For those who are watching, probably you're here and you're looking for someone to talk to, you don't know who to talk to. We have a toll-free number for Chiromo. I request you to write it. Even if you think you don't need it, kindly write it, let it be in your contact list, because you may meet someone who needs it and probably you'll be the help that person needs. And so kindly just write this, 0800 220 000. 0800 220 000. That's a toll-free line, and every time you call, you will always have someone who is going to talk to you. And so you want to talk, you know someone who needs to talk, kindly just share this with them, and it's going to be your gift to them. Gathoni. Oh, sorry. Okay, so the guest has left, and so we will continue with the rest. We'll continue with the rest of the performers, the creatives. We have Mohammed Ismat. Mohammed Ismat here. Thank you. Mohammed Ismat is not with us, but they are going to be coming to us online. Thank you.
Hello, it's Mohammed Ismat Mohammed from Mombasa, Kenya. I do dance and acrobats, that's my profession. Happy to be part of this festival this year. I'll be sharing a lot of work. You see how I do. I face a lot of challenges during my training time, getting no sponsors, no space to train, no people to assist me. But I didn't lose hope, and here I am. Actually, mental health is a big problem here in Kenya due to lack of work, so that people lose hope in whatever they do. I'll urge my fellow Kenyans or youth, let's not lose whatever you want to achieve in this life. Whenever you want to quit, remember a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Let's stay positive and get more help via our mentors and seek help whenever we can. Let's have fun, and I wish us all the best.
Thank you so much for that wonderful performance. I would now like to ask Meshach to join me here on stage. Meshach. Oh, you are creeping up behind me. How do you do?
Mic check, mic check. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? All right, all right.
Meshach, I understand you are a dance therapist here at Chiromo.
Yes, I am.
Kindly tell us what that entails and how you go about it.
Thank you very much. I'm going to start by introducing myself again. My name is Meshach Juma. I am a dance professional artist. I'm a choreographer, and I also teach here dance as part of therapy to the patients in these premises. I've danced for, no, let me say this. I've been doing dance for 8 years professionally, and over time I came to realize that I have a tool that I can use to reach out or to touch people who have who are challenged, not necessarily saying that they can't dance. Here at Chiromo Hospital, I use dance as a tool to reach out and to make sure that people feel confident, or they can express themselves to their better, what is it called, better self. Because remember, dance is all about progression and self-expression, depending with the emotions that you want to bring out, depending with what you want to tell people. So either you want to bring out sadness, happiness. That's what I usually do here. And it's been a great journey because I've been doing this for the past 2 years now. And I so far love the experience here because I get to interact with different people each and every week. So I've overcome maybe like almost 1,000 people during this journey. And I really love this because getting to interact with people and them being free around you, I think it's the best thing. I think it's something that we've been talking here, giving people the safe space for them to express themselves, not judging them, but giving them the platform to be themselves, to see who they really are. So I'm going to try a very simple exercise with you guys, okay? I know we've been sitting for a long time, and I just want to try and do some of the things I usually do in class. I'm not going to tell you move and okay. I'm going to just try and use something that it's a routine that we do each and every day, but it's going to come off as a dance step. All right? We all have cell phones, right? What's the call sign? Everyone, can you show me the call sign? What's the call sign? Good. So I want you to put that in mind. You're picking up a call. Maybe your boss is calling you, okay? Show me that call sign with your right hand. All right, thank you very much. And you just realized there's something happening in the background and you want to cancel that call. What do you do? Sign language. If you want to cancel something or tell someone. Thank you very much. You do something like this. This is carrot, okay? So you cancel, okay? So good. I want you to pick up the call, count 2, then cancel and count 2. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, cancel, and 1, 2, cancel, and guess what? You've done a dance step. It's called shaku shaku. It's as easy as that, okay? Because the step is as simple as give me the call, cancel, and give me the call and cancel. And by me trying to relate with the people who I encounter, telling them dance is not all about perfection, because there's nothing like that. It's all about that progression and the daily routine that you do each and every day. Trying to make them feel comfortable with the thing that they do daily has drawn me closer to them. I feel I'm part of this journey. In as much as they learn from me, I learn from them. I'm an open-minded person, and thank you, Chiromo Hospital, for this platform. And I'm hoping we're going to reach more and more people in our 3rd edition. Tufunguke. Thank you very much.
I'm sure now someone will go home and say, I just today learned Shaku and they just answered and canceled a call. I think it's quite impressive. So from here, I'm going to invite Benji, my co-host, to invite our next performer before we wind up the program.
Yeah, thank you so much. We are almost at the end. However, Nimrod is with us. Nimrod, oh yeah, that's you.
Yeah, si kila wakati kushika watu sasa kuna wakati ya kushika wasee sasa. 1 2 1 2. Mistari. Ndio hiyo sasa. Asante. Yeah, nashukuru sana na saa hii ni wakati ya kuroga sasa. Tunawapatia rap kidogo. Hope itawabamba na tutazidi kufanya hivi tukipatiwa nafasi tena. Sawa. DJ. Yeah. Nilifanya juu ya history yote. Yeah. History yote ya mind ni kweli by the si uongo. Yeah. Si utani kuna ngori nimeshindwa kukaa, ninawasaka bila hodi wale wanazuba, kimbia fasta si mastori ya kufunze kung'aa, tunamfuata na maombi hadi tufike faa, sambaza neno duniani, Yesu ndiye the key, anawataka wenye dhambi wote waje wafid, hizo haraka weka mbali tulizia maspi, the master anajali ya kuachia tease. Ni beta kuwa fama kuliko kuwa fala tu, maneno ni sambamba na picha kama gari vuna kama sitahama, kwa Yesu ni amani tu jameni, kaza kamba usije kuwa namba tu, foleni ninapanga, nina bidii kwenda juu kwa mechi ninatamba, nina katika na miguu maombi sana sana, kumbuka hadi wajukuu malezi ni ya baba hadi mbinguni nyumba kuu. Yeah, never okay. Never, yeah, it's gonna be okay, man. Yeah. Mungu Baba nipe nguvu, nipe uwezo wa kudumu mchana na usiku, niwe nikikuabudu. Maisha yetu sisi Baba yamekuwa ngumu, hatuna la kufanya sasa, tunataka tubu. Makosa mengi tumefanya, tushakuwa zuzu, wakati sasa umefika life iwe tamu. Nimechange, nimegain, nimepata fahamu, hakuna cha kudozi sasa tunakushujudu. Wewe wa nguvu umenivisha wokovu, ukaniosha na damu. Nimechange na fahamu kwamba wewe unakamu, furaha tabasamu, wageni wote karibuni, nipe salamu. Biblia inasema na tuwe na nidhamu, fanya hima shikilia na uwe na imani. Sasa hivi si jinga, akili timamu, shake your head kama bado wewe una ujirani. Matatizo yamezidi, yametuandama, ni time yake Jesus ameshika tama, na feel yako with us, atupenda sana. Yeah, atupenda sana. Yeah, kishka. Yeah, atupenda sana. Okay, it's gonna be okay, man. Sikiza kijana, wacha kujifanya mang'aa, utajipata uko ndani ya mix, utashangaa. Mamoro mtaani ni kumeza tu machang'aa, tiwa tena jela juu ya vela na mambang'aa. Hizo chocha weka chini, wacha kujigamba ndugu, umechoka chuo juzi, anza na undugu. Fanya uchambuzi ndio ujue ana nguvu, kama huna kopi karibia na utubu. Kishka natoka faa, wana naismiki paa, Mungu Baba wanifaa na kuhisi, wanalala tu kwa baa, hawataki kurifaa, wanarifaa tu ibilisi. Yeah, kishka. Shukran. Yeah. Let's go. Asante sana.
Yeah man, nipatie track. You don't have to worry. All right. No, Rumie, you don't have to worry and you don't have to cry. Sometimes you feel like even you wanna die, cause all the friends are falling away. You don't want to do anything. No, sorry. Wacha nihurumie. Next time takam na track yangu. Thank you so much. Washikage na hiyo. Hii iko sawa. Asante sana. Hii kitu iko sawa. Nimrod. Meshach, my brother. Where art thou? Hallelujah. Verily I say unto thee. Yes. Your time has come.
Okay, everyone, I would like to invite everyone to stand up so that we can try and do something very easy, okay? Something very easy, something very easy. Okay, stretch, stretch, stretch to the side, stretch to the side, okay? Najua tumeketi sana, and I want us to try something very simple. When I say whoa, put your hands in the air, okay? Whoa, both hands, whoa. Woza, woza, woza. One more time, let's go, whoa. Woza, woza, woza. Can you repeat after me? Let's go, whoa, whoa, woza, woza, woza. Thank you very much. Do as I say, not what I'm doing, and you need to look at me. If you don't look at me, you're cheating. So, let's go. Whoa, woza, 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 woza. Whoa, whoa, woza, 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 woza. Okay, we are alert. DJ, please give me the track, okay? So make sure paluko unaweza songa, sawa sawa. All right, nice and easy. I want you to move side to side. Tunaitanga dance ya kwaya, lakini I just want us to move side to side, okay? We're going to build off of that. Okay? All right, are you ready? All right, nice and easy, side to side. Open, close. Then, let's go. Side, side, side. All right. Are you ready? Now we're going to add our hands. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Go. That's it. Roll it down. Roll and up. Roll and up. Roll and up. Roll. Tunaenda kando pole pole. Out. Out. Arms out. Let's go. Arms. Go. Arms. Tunaenda hapa mbele. Kanyaga. To the back. Let's go. Kanyaga. To the back. Let's go. Ayayay. Ayayay. Take it up. Let's go. Throw it up. Throw it up. Pole pole rusha. Sisiki watu wakiimba. Let's go. Throw it up. Up. Okay, remember the pick-up call step, okay? Bring it out. Let's go. Call. Cancel. Cancel. Pick the call again. Let's go. Call. Call. That's it. Call. Nice and easy. I want you to pick it from the ground. Go. Chukua. Weka. Chukua. Chini. Weka. Ay. One more time. Let's go. Pick it up. And place. One more time. Let's go. Go. Clap your hands now down. And back. And back. And back. Keleo to the side. Kila jasho. Twende. 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 Turn around very slow. Let's go. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. That's it. Nice and easy step. Relax yourself. 1, 2, 3. Take it easy. Let's go low. Let's go low. Hope chakula imeisha kwa tumbo, yeah? Bring it down. Go. Twende. Chukua. 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 All right. Take it up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Side to side. Eka kamaringo at least. Sasa. Express yourself. Bring it outside. Position. I want you to take your head up. Other side. Let's go. Ay. Ay. Let's go. Take it down. Hey. Take it down. Take it down. Take it down. Ah, thank you very much. Clap for yourselves. You're amazing. Good job, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hope mumetoa jasho kweli. Ilikuwa inafaa kuwa bila jasho. Thank you very much, guys.
Perfecto. Thank you so much. Whether you have 2 right legs or 2 left legs, it doesn't matter. You do your thing, right? Yes. Thank you so much. We're going to have a gift session. And Gathoni once again is going to be leading us through this. Probably she can start with a dance. Oh, okay. That's all right. She won't.
Please let's have Gladys Warugoro. Gladys Warugoro is our corporate services manager. and she's going to take us through this brief session. Let's clap for her as she comes.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening. It's already evening, right? My name, as mentioned, is Gladys Waruguru, the Corporate Services Manager, Chiromo Hospital Group. We're going to have a session of gifts, and I would request Sylvia, I don't know if Maryam is also around. Then at some point I'll call you Dr. Hongo to assist us in the same kind. Sorry? Okay, maybe I can just take this opportunity to thank our partners for having participated in Mindfest 2021. We are very glad, and with the theme of the alt and having Miss World Kenya around, the CEO, director, Ashries, we are very grateful, and even to the director, IHRM, in absentia, who just left. We are very grateful, and all the other people who participated in this, we take this opportunity to thank you. Much more thanks to Safaricom for also sponsoring us in this. We are forever grateful. We are as a Chiromo Hospital Group, we are anchored on partnerships. Sorry, I'm from Central. Partnerships, and we are because of you, and we are very grateful at this moment. We're going to have some gifts of just appreciations. We'll start with Terry Mungai, the CEO, Ashries. Terry, kindly. Dr. Hongo, if you don't mind, kindly. Kindly. Yes. Kindly, you could stand with Sylvia. Yeah. Thank you very much, Terry. Thank you for taking this and considering mental health and mental topic as part of your CSL this year. We are really grateful, even as we try to destigmatize mental illnesses and mental health. Right? Thank you very much. Yeah, next we'll have a representative from Safaricom, Edward Otieno. Edward, are you around? Okay, Sylvia will have. I cannot. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bernard. Pass our regards to the management of Safaricom. Next, we'll have Miss World Kenya, Miss Obara. We'll have at least an opportunity to have a shot with you this evening. Thank you very much for honoring our invite. We are forever grateful for your presence this evening. Gathoni, maybe you could assist in this kindly. Thank you. I don't know if you're able to match the smile. We can try, right? Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Obara. Asante sana. Next, guess we're done. Sorry. Thank you very much. We'll have a gift for Mr. World Kenya, Mr. Franklin. The other name is very hard for me to pronounce. Frank. Yeah, that name, right? Yes. Franklin, thank you very much. Maybe I can have a shot before the presents. Asante sana. We'll call Jadida to present. Yeah, Paula Jadida. Smile. Oh, Mr.'s also smile, right? Thank you very much. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Tech 6 Africa for pushing our content online. We are forever grateful and really acknowledges your efforts. Yeah, I guess we are done. Thank you very much. I'll take this opportunity to invite Gathoni to push us through the rest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gladys. I hope you enjoyed your photo. I hope you have been enjoying yourself, both in here and online. Kindly just allow me to continue in the spirit of appreciating each other. Right, so the day has been great, absolutely full of sunlight and candor. Even as I say these remarks, I don't want us to think that the program is ending. We are still going to continue playing everything that was sent out because as we all know, the program today was largely virtual, and our participants came from Lamu. We had Embu, we had Meru, we even had a Canadian, guys, imagine. Yes, and also other parts of Nairobi. And in line with the COVID protocol, plus our guest, we couldn't have everybody in here today. So special thanks in absentia to the Chief Executive Director, Qureshi Abdallah, and our sponsors, Safaricom. We are indeed grateful. And the Miss World Kenya, Sharon Obara, as well as Mr. World Kenya, Franklin Asioyo. Thank you so much. Take 6 as well. We really appreciate your support today. And this could not have been possible if you guys did not honor this invitation today. The guests here, the amazing participants who came, all the poems, the dancing that has happened today. It's really been an amazing, amazing day. I would like to also thank a really amazing team, and please just allow me to invite all of you here. This would not have been possible. This event supported all the way from the senior management, who was led by the digital relations arm. Please allow me to welcome Pendo Ochola. Please come. Okay, this is the point where you clap. Thank you, guys. Right, Pendo Ochola, she's part of our team, a hospital psychologist and the digital strategist. Please allow me to welcome Tiffany Ndei as well, followed by Adrian Adagi. Kindly join us here at the front. These are the faces that are behind the social media presence of this hospital and the muscle. As we all know, a good army needs a good team, right? And also, our chefs who gave us amazing meals today. Did you guys enjoy your meals today? Did you feel that it was level 5? Level? Yes. Thank you for shaking your heads very well. We really, really do appreciate our chefs. This would also not have been possible without our security team, who we really, really value, all the way from the gate to the parking to right up here. Our cleaning managers, right? I'm sure as you went around this facility today, it was spotless. Our corporate executive team, we have Jadida Mwende, please join us here. And all the gifts that you guys are going to receive after this, because we have gift packages for our participants today and our partners. That was also done by none other than Beryl Karan, who is in another event. Yeah, you will see her photo later there. And the administration team led by Sylvia Muga. Please welcome Sylvia. Digital relations is also, it's under the psychology, the larger psychology arm. We have our psychological services manager here with us today, Maryam Mugane. Please welcome here. And last but not least, our executive team, Gladys is part of this executive team. Please, Gladys, come, and Maryam, who is already here. And all this would not have been possible without the intentional guidership of our team leader, Dr. Vincent Hongo. Please come here. Yes, thank you all for making this a really wonderful and remarkable day. I don't know if Meshank is still out there. Meshank, please come to the front. And we are just going to end this in style because this team is going to dance for us today. And as we wait for Meshank, special thanks to this team in front of us and the team watching us and everybody who I have mentioned here today. On behalf of our chairman, Dr. Frank Njenga, the board of directors, the vision bearers of this branch, we thank you and we honor you today. Meshank, this is your dancing team. All right, and thank you so much to the MCs as well. I'm waiting as the music comes in. Yes, our MC was Benjamin Mutuku. Thank you so much. Eve Wandaka. I don't know where she is. Yes, who was, oh yes, I have seen you. Thank you so much for assisting so diligently. And all, we can't forget the media team that took their time to be here today to commemorate this day with us, our photographers, our videographers, also the team that came with Madam Qureshi, the team that came with the Ashley organization, and the Miss World. So we thank you so much, Eddie. And yeah, are we ready? My guests are about to leave. So let's, yes, thank you. Yes, after they do the first round of dancing, then we will welcome the crowd to stand up and join in. Thank you so much. Khalifa, please join us. Khalifa Khalid. And Faith Ogega, Lucy, Ian Kiplagat, Ian Lilech, Kathleen, kindly join us here. Thank you. We appreciate. Please go to the podium. Kindly go to the podium. Thank you so much. Martin, please join us to the stage. Chef Martin, please join us to the stage. Thank you. Yes. welcome all of you to join us in this dancing. Sharon, please join us. Please join us on stage. Sharon, Obara, Franklin, please join us on stage. Our next performance will be Larota, all the way from Mombasa. And she's going to be joining us online. Larota has very, very great music. She's supported us from Mindfest 2020. And she also gave in her application 2021. She's doing such a wonderful job. And we look forward to hosting her here at Chiromo Hospital Group. Welcome, Larota. Okay, thank you. The program is done inside here, but still continuing online. So feel free to mingle. Asanteni sana for being here today.
Yeah. It's another season of love. Wake up in the morning, find a reason to love, a reason to flow. Forget about your granny, find a reason to smile, and a reason to grow. Wake up in the morning, find a reason of love, and a reason to flow. Forget about your granny, find a reason to smile.
Maisha ni kupanda na kusuka. Unapanda gari si saloon car kwenda kusuka angels human hair. Unasuka darlings kwa vichwa za watu wenye hujaiitwa hata darling. Oh, this doesn't seem nice and lovely. Pedicure, manicure. If money really cures, then mbona watu wako na ugonjwa wa kuitisha fare? Unaishi kuspend on shiabata na hopes za kujambraid kwa table but still ni rare. Worry less msupa, uko na smile radiant, so kwa isa kusuwa lose radius. To crafts zako kidisplay zinakuwa ebo. Ziko ebo kuliko serikali ya nusu mkati juu hao ndio wana hold festive. Zinafanya vijana wago freaky and kinky juu mademu wao kwa street wako kwa situation ya Sleeping Beauty na other kings. Ziko ebo kuliko your fox, so usijilock. Your work nails kuliko venye mademu wana do their nails. Waking up, kumake up, when you make up on which makeup to put on. Crafts zako ziko ebo kucrochet na kuweave ndoa zenye zimaribika juu ya harufu ya wig. Zenye zingine hata si fault ya wig. Akili ni nywele lakini huwezi contribute business idea na big. Simama wa saloon ndio ufanya mdem kusema I'm not your type after kujisikia ako na dual citizenship after kusonga Ghanaians. Kuhelp, kuboost confidence na kuimprove selfies, then letter caption independent woman. Michelle Ntalami ni founder, hata we unaweza kuwa owner.
Tunaishi kwa dunia yenye wenye wako na beef hawatoshi mboga na wenye wako na mboga hawana beef. Dunia iko hivyo chief, competition ni stiff. Mi ni ule mama huuza vitunguu, nyanya na biriganya na vitu zingine zenye zinawachanganya. Both kwa wale wenye macho zao zinakaa maziwa na pia wale wenye zao zimenyanya. Nauzia watoto, wajukuu na pia manyanya. Kuna vitu zingine hunichanganya. Kama mtoto wa kike kuacha mtoto wake kwa mama yake, amebadilisha mama wa nyanya kuwa nyanya. Jioni anarudi kwa nyumba kama zake zimenyanya. Vijana, choreni hizi vitu mnafanya. Mnaifanya ikuwe impossible kama paka kuekelea kengele kwa shingo ya panya. Ndio mi huuza mboga, lakini hii mboga nafanya sio mboga. Inahitaji hard work na mind iko sober. Nauzia wasanii skuma yet siezi skuma kiki. Na si life imekuwa hard, so inabidi watu wakule skuma weekly. Na rate ya stress imekuwa high, so skuma huamsha ulcers kwa watu wanakuwa a bit sickly. I feed the community yet the society looks down on me. Nalisha mtaa yet nyumba yangu imetolewa paa juu ya kukosa rent na siezi hata afford electricity, so natumia taa. Bala. Profit huenda kwa school fee. Watoto wetu hulala njaa yet ni mimi na manage to put a meal on other people's tables. Yes. Hata kama niko angry na life, lakini dream yangu hainikubali ku sleep angry. I wish I could convince the future generation that hii ni job ya kuwa proud of than to sell their dignity in the streets. Ni better than kuwa beggars depending on men's sweat. But hawaezi elewa. Every time nakata kitunguu, I'm left in tears kunikumbusha wale wote hawana chakula. Cause imagine, na wauzia carrots yetu wameshindwa kuona mbele.
Waumini wote waje, tukusanyike, tumuite Yesu kwa jina lake, jina lenye nguvu na uwezo wote. Tukishindwa na mengine tusishinde kuomba na kukiri kuwa wewe ni Bwana. Tukishindwa na mengine tusishinde kuomba, utatusikia. Kile mimi najua kuna vita, kiroho bali si kimwili, naomba unifiche ndani yako. Oh, kwa kufunga na kwa kuomba, mlima gani wewe huwezi ondoa? Imani yangu nimeweka kwako, muweza wa yote. Tukishindwa na mengine tusishinde kuomba. Tusishinde kuomba, wewe utatusikia. Kweli kile minajua kuna vita, hatuwezi shinda kama bado tumesimama. Twende kwa magoti, kuna vita, hatuwezi shinda kama bado tumesimama. Twende kwa magoti. Inipate kwa magoti, uwepo wako unipate kwa magoti. Ufisadi utaisha tukienda kwa magoti, ukabila nao twende kwa magoti.
Chochote unachohitaji